Welcome to the Executive Summary. Dan Martell, a successful serial entrepreneur and angel investor, wrote Back Your Time to help leaders reclaim their most valuable asset. If you're ready to stop trading your time for money and scale your business and life, like this video and subscribe now. Here is what you need to know. Most leaders believe that scaling their impact requires them to work harder, longer, and to personally oversee every critical detail. Dan Martell, through decades of building and coaching high-growth ventures, reveals precisely the opposite. True exponential growth and personal freedom are achieved not by doing more, but by strategically doing less. Failure to grasp this distinction traps leaders in a cycle of overwork, micromanagement, and burnout. It stifles organizational growth, limits innovation, and ultimately compromises the very freedom and success they sought to achieve. Your business becomes a prison, and your ambition, a gilded cage. By the end of this analysis, you will possess a precise framework for systematically reclaiming your most valuable asset to your time, to allowing you to focus exclusively on the high-impact activities that only you can execute, thereby unlocking unprecedented growth for your enterprise and profound personal liberation. Martell's insights are not theoretical. They are forged in the crucible of building and exiting multiple technology companies, and have guided countless founders and executives to scale their businesses and their lives effectively. This is the strategic reallocation of your most finite resource. In the relentless pursuit of entrepreneurial and executive success, a pervasive myth persists that the path to achievement is paved with perpetual effort and personal oversight. Leaders often find themselves entangled in the minutiae of their operations, believing that every task, no matter how small, requires their direct involvement to ensure quality and progress. This mindset, while born of dedication, inevitably leads to a bottleneck at the top, hindering scalability, fostering burnout, and ultimately limiting the very growth it seeks to achieve. It is precisely this critical juncture that Dan Martell addresses in Back Your Time. Published in 2023, this book rapidly ascended to landmark status within leadership literature, not merely as another time management guide, but as a profound reframing of how high-achieving individuals perceive and leverage their most finite resource. Martell, a serial entrepreneur, angel investor, and highly sought-after coach, brings to this work a unique blend of practical experience and strategic insight. Having founded and successfully exited multiple technology companies, including Clarity.fm and Flowtown, his credentials are not merely academic. They are forged in the demanding realities of building and scaling businesses from the ground up. Back Your Time is not concerned with optimizing your calendar to squeeze in more tasks. Its central argument is far more revolutionary. True leadership and exponential growth are achieved not by doing more, but by strategically buying back your time. This involves a systematic process of identifying, delegating, and outsourcing tasks that do not represent your highest value contribution. The objective is to liberate leaders from the operational treadmill, allowing them to focus exclusively on high-impact, high-leverage activities that only they are uniquely positioned to execute. Martell's work resonates deeply with entrepreneurs, startup founders, CEOs of growing companies, senior executives, and any ambitious professional grappling with the relentless demands of their roles. It provides a clear, actionable framework to dismantle the self-imposed limitations of doing it all, transforming time from a scarce commodity into a strategic asset. By offering a meticulously detailed methodology for delegation and capacity building, Martell empowers leaders to not only scale their organizations, but also to reclaim personal freedom, addressing the pervasive issues of executive burnout and inefficiency head-on. This book is a definitive guide for those ready to transcend the confines of busy work and step into their true role as strategic architects of growth and impact. Lesson 1. The Buyback Principle. The foundational premise of Martell's philosophy is encapsulated in the Buyback Principle. This principle challenges the conventional wisdom that effective time management is about fitting more into your day. Instead, it posits that your time is your most valuable, non-renewable asset, and the most strategic investment you can make is to systematically buy it back. This means actively identifying and then delegating or eliminating tasks that do not align with your highest value contributions. Martell observes that leaders frequently fall into the trap of performing tasks that are well below their pay grade or expertise. This stems from a combination of perfectionism, a perceived lack of capable support, or simply an ingrained habit of doing everything themselves. The buyback principle demands a fundamental mindset shift. Every task you personally undertake carries an opportunity cost. If a task can be performed by someone else to an acceptable standard, Martell suggests 80% as well as you, and this frees you to engage in work that is 100% unique to your leadership capabilities and generates significantly higher impact. Then it is not merely an expense, but a strategic investment. This investment yields returns in the form of increased focus, accelerated growth, and enhanced personal capacity. Consider the example of a senior pastor. Their unique value lies in spiritual guidance, sermon preparation, pastoral care, strategic vision casting for the congregation, and community engagement. However, many pastors find themselves spending hours each week on administrative tasks, formatting sermon slides, managing the church calendar, coordinating volunteer schedules, or even handling basic communications. While these tasks are necessary for the church's operation, they're not activities that uniquely leverage the pastor's spiritual gifts or leadership position. By delegating these functions to a competent administrative assistant, a dedicated volunteer coordinator, or even leveraging specialized software, the pastor buys back significant time. This reclaimed time can then be reinvested into sermon depth, personal connection with congregants, strategic planning for growth, or outreach initiatives to activities that only they can truly lead and that generate far greater value for the church community. The challenge for you, then, is to critically assess your current workload. What are the top 3 tasks you perform weekly that someone else could execute to an 80% standard, thereby liberating you to focus on your unique leadership contributions? Identifying these tasks is the first step in applying the buyback principle. Lesson 2, the $10,000 per hour rule. Building upon the buyback principle, Martell introduces a powerful mental model, the $10,000 per hour rule. This rule compels leaders to identify and prioritize tasks that generate disproportionately high value for their organization, and conversely, to ruthlessly eliminate or delegate everything else. It is a radical lens through which to evaluate your time. Martell's premise is simple yet profound. Assign an extremely high monetary value to your time, to, for instance, $10,000 per hour. This arbitrary, yet impactful, figure forces a critical and often uncomfortable evaluation of how you are currently spending your hours. If a task does not meet this exceptionally high-value threshold, it immediately becomes a prime candidate for delegation, automation, or outright elimination. This rule serves as an invaluable filter, helping leaders to distinguish between mere busy work and genuinely impactful, high-leverage activities. It shifts the focus from efficiency in low-value tasks to effectiveness in high-value ones. Consider the CEO of a rapidly scaling technology startup. In the early stages, this CEO might have personally handled various operational tasks, including responding to routine customer support emails, managing social media accounts, or even basic bookkeeping. While these tasks are essential for the business, they are in essence $25 an hour activities. If the CEO were to apply the $10,000 per hour rule, they would immediately recognize the profound opportunity cost of engaging in such work. By hiring a dedicated customer support specialist, outsourcing social media management, or engaging a bookkeeper, the CEO frees up their invaluable time. This reclaimed time can then be strategically reinvested into securing a new round of venture capital funding, forging critical strategic partnerships, driving product innovation, or recruiting top-tier talent. These are activities that, when executed effectively, have the potential to generate millions for the company, aligning perfectly with the $10,000 per hour rule and propelling the business forward exponentially. Now, apply this rule to your own context. If your time was genuinely valued at $10,000 per hour, what specific activities would you immediately cease performing or delegate, and what high-impact initiatives would you dedicate your newly freed attention to instead? This mental exercise is designed to clarify your true value proposition. Lesson 3, the delegation funnel. Effective delegation is not merely offloading undesirable tasks. It is a strategic process. Martell provides a structured approach through the delegation funnel, designed to move tasks systematically from your plate to the appropriate resolution, ensuring that delegation is purposeful and impactful. This funnel consists of distinct stages, beginning with the most critical, elimination. Before delegating anything, a leader must first ask if the task is truly necessary. Many tasks persist purely out of habit or historical precedent. If a task can be eliminated without detriment, that is the most efficient solution. Second, consider automation. For repetitive processes, can technology or a system handle the task more efficiently than a human? Only after these two filters have been applied should a leader consider the third stage, delegation. This involves assigning the remaining necessary tasks to the right individual, ensuring they have the capacity and capability. The ultimate goal of this funnel is to ensure that the leader's focus is reserved exclusively for the highest impact tasks that only they can perform, having systematically removed everything else from their direct responsibility. This structured approach prevents haphazard delegation and ensures maximum leverage of the leader's time. Imagine a military commander who receives numerous daily reports for various units. Manually compiling and cross-referencing all this data would be an incredibly time-consuming and low-leverage activity. Applying the delegation funnel, the commander would first assess if any reports are redundant or no longer serve a critical purpose. Next, they would investigate if software or a data analytics tool could automatically aggregate and present key metrics. The remaining necessary data synthesis and initial analysis would then be delegated to a junior officer or an intelligence analyst. This systematic process allows the commander to focus their limited and precious time on critical strategic decision-making, assessing geopolitical shifts, maintaining troop morale, and planning future operations to activities that are uniquely within their purview and cannot be delegated. For your own application, select one recurring task that you genuinely dislike performing. Can you eliminate it entirely? If not, can it be automated? If neither is feasible, identify the ideal person to whom this task could be delegated. What is your initial plan to empower them to successfully take ownership of it? Lesson 4. The replacement ladder. Martell underscores that delegation is not a one-off act, but a continuous process of building organizational capacity. The replacement ladder offers a clear progression for systematically replacing yourself in operational roles by hiring and training individuals to take on increasing levels of responsibility and skill. This concept highlights that effective delegation involves more than simply handing off tasks. It is about cultivating a robust team capable of assuming greater functional ownership. The replacement ladder outlines a clear trajectory. It begins with hiring a virtual assistant for simple, often administrative tasks, level 1. As the business grows and the leader's time becomes even more valuable, the next step might involve bringing on a specialized contractor for specific projects or a part-time employee, level 2. The progression continues to a full-time employee who can manage an entire function or department, level 3. Ultimately, the goal is to cultivate key leaders who can manage entire functions, effectively allowing the original leader to step away from day-to-day operational oversight entirely, level 4. This systematic approach ensures that delegation is strategic, scalable, and contributes directly to the long-term health and growth of the organization. Consider an entrepreneur who initially handles all aspects of their company's social media presence. This includes content creation, scheduling posts, community engagement, and analytics. At level 1, they might hire a virtual assistant specifically for scheduling posts and basic community moderation, freeing up immediate time. As the business expands, they might then hire a part-time social media manager, level 2, who can take over content creation, develop a more sophisticated strategy, and manage advertising campaigns. Eventually, as the company matures, they bring on a full-time head of marketing, level 3 or 4, who oversees all digital channels, manages a team, and integrates marketing efforts with broader business objectives. This allows the entrepreneur to completely step away from day-to-day marketing operations, entrusting it to a capable leader and focusing their own efforts on innovation, investor relations, or strategic partnerships. Reflect on your current team or potential hires, who, either presently or through recruitment, is capable of taking on one of your level 1 delegation tasks to those simple, repeatable activities. What is the very first step you can take to empower them to assume this responsibility? Lesson 5. The success path. Delegation, however well-intentioned, can falter without clear guidance and consistent execution. Martell introduces the success path as the critical component for ensuring that delegated tasks are performed consistently, effectively, and to the desired standard. This principle emphasizes the necessity of creating clear, documented processes and standard operating procedures. Martell argues that merely telling someone what to do is insufficient for effective delegation. True empowerment requires providing the how. The success path involves meticulously documenting the step-by-step process for a given task. This documentation should include not only the sequence of actions, but also expected outcomes, necessary resources, decision-making criteria, and troubleshooting tips. The benefits are manifold. It significantly reduces errors, accelerates the training process for new team members, ensures consistent quality regardless of who performs the task, and ultimately makes delegation scalable and reliable. It transforms a task from an individual's knowledge into an organizational asset. Consider a church administrator who needs to delegate the weekly bulletin creation, a task requiring precision and adherence to deadlines. Instead of simply providing verbal instructions, the administrator creates a comprehensive SOP. This document outlines the specific template to be used, the deadline for content submission from various ministries, the approval process, who reviews, what to look for, the printing instructions, paper type, quantity, printer settings, and the method and schedule for distribution. This detailed success path ensures that even if a new volunteer or staff member takes over the task, they have a clear, reliable guide to follow. The result is consistent quality, reduced need for constant oversight, and the ability to seamlessly transition the task without disruption. For a task you intend to delegate, begin by outlining its success path. What are the first 3 critical steps you would document to ensure someone else could execute it effectively and consistently? Lesson 6. The Freedom Score. Ultimately, the goal of buying back your time extends beyond mere productivity. It is about reclaiming a life of purpose and well-being. Martell introduces the Freedom Score as a quantifiable metric to track this crucial aspect of leadership success. Martell challenges leaders to define and measure their Freedom Score to a deeply personal metric that reflects the amount of time they spend on activities they genuinely enjoy and the degree of control they exert over their own schedule. This shifts the focus from purely business KPIs to a holistic measure of life satisfaction and autonomy. By quantifying this score, leaders gain a tangible way to assess the effectiveness of their delegation efforts in creating a more fulfilling life, rather than simply generating more work or profit. It serves as a constant reminder that the ultimate purpose of strategic time reallocation is to live a life by design, not by default. A senior executive, for instance, might define their Freedom Score as the number of uninterrupted hours they dedicate each week to strategic thinking, quality family time, personal hobbies such as reading, exercise or creative pursuits, and deep work that truly energizes them. They might assign a numerical value to this, perhaps on a scale of 1 to 10, or simply track the actual hours. By consistently monitoring this score, they can directly observe how their efforts in delegation, automation, and elimination translate into greater personal autonomy and well-being. If the score is declining, it signals a need to reevaluate their time allocation and delegation strategies. If it is increasing, it confirms that their leadership strategies are not only benefiting the organization, but also enriching their personal life. How would you personally define your Freedom Score today? And what is one specific, actionable step you could take this week to increase that score by just 1 point, moving closer to the life you truly desire? Having absorbed these foundational principles, the critical step is implementation. Here are 3 concrete actions you can take this week to begin buying back your time. Move 1. The time and motion study. For the next 3 to 5 days, meticulously track every 30-minute increment of your workday. Record precisely what you are doing. After this tracking period, categorize each activity not just by type, but by its perceived value to your organization and your role. Use Martell's framework. Is it a $10,000 per hour task, a $1,000 per hour task, or a $100 per hour task? Critically identify which activities can be eliminated, which could be automated, and which are prime candidates for delegation. This exercise will provide you with data-driven insights into your actual time allocation, revealing hidden inefficiencies and high-leverage opportunities. Move 2. The first delegation play. From your time and motion study, select one recurring, low-value task that currently consumes at least 30 minutes of your time per day. This could be scheduling appointments, filtering emails, basic data entry, or routine report generation. Now, document its process in a simple standard operating procedure to your success path. Outline the steps clearly, including expected outcomes. Identify a team member or a virtual assistant who could competently perform this task. This week, delegate this task to them, providing clear instructions, the documented process, and explicit expectations. This is your initial, tangible step into strategic delegation. Move 3. The freedom block. Once you have identified a task for delegation, create space for what truly matters. Block out 2 to 4 hours in your calendar this week. This freedom block is sacrosanct. During this time, engage exclusively in either high-leverage work that aligns with your $10,000 per hour activities to deep strategic thinking, innovation, or high-impact relationship building to, or dedicate it entirely to personal freedom activities that directly contribute to your desired freedom score. Treat this block as an inviolable appointment, protecting it from interruptions. This ensures that the time you buy back is intentionally reinvested, not merely filled with new busy work. The insights presented today from Dan Martell's by Back Your Time offer a transformative perspective on leadership and personal effectiveness. By embracing the principles of strategic delegation and valuing your time as your most precious asset, you can fundamentally alter your trajectory, both professionally and personally. If this analysis has provided you with clarity, actionable strategies, or a renewed sense of purpose, we invite you to acknowledge its value. Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the executive summary for more in-depth explorations of foundational leadership texts. Your engagement fuels our mission to deliver premium, actionable insights to discerning leaders like yourself. To ensure you never miss an episode, activate the notification bell. We consistently publish content designed to elevate your leadership capabilities and strategic thinking. Next week, we will be dissecting another pivotal work that challenges conventional wisdom in executive decision-making. Join us as we unpack the critical insights that separate effective leaders from those merely reacting to circumstances. Remember, true leadership is not about doing everything. It is about strategically empowering others to achieve more, thereby liberating yourself to focus on what only you can do. This is the essence of building an enduring legacy. So, start buying back your time and reclaim your focus. If you found these insights valuable, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more executive summaries. We've got plenty more coming your way.